In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a tower defense game on Roblox. This will let you create your very own custom tower defense game. Okay, so we're going to start by inserting the model from the toolbox, link in the description. Then we're going to open up this folder here, read both of those. Then we'll take out the lobby, as this will be the lobby place. We'll get back to the map later, then you can delete this for now. Now in here, we're going to go here and start dragging these into their correct category. And then right clicking and pressing ungroup or control U or command U, just like that. So I'll just quickly do all of them. Service group service, server storage, starter GUI, and starter player scripts. Now make sure for this one you put it in starter player and starter player scripts, not character scripts or anywhere else. Ungroup. Then we can just delete this. Next, in game settings, security, we need to enable studio access to API services. Save, that just lets the studio have access to data stores so you can test in here. Okay, to start configuring our game, we're going to start in workspace. So you'll see here we've got this loadout and pivot. Now basically this will, as well as down here, it will show your loadout here, but then it'll also show them in models here. Now just make the pivot wherever you want to center it, and then if it's facing that way, the models will be facing this way, moving out accordingly, which we'll set up in game settings, but yeah, just be aware of that. Next, in replicated storage configuration modules, we'll start off with game configuration. So we've got the default money. This is when you've never joined the game before, that's how much money you get. Loadout slots, this means there is 5 slots you can have, 5 towers you can have equipped at once in your loadout. So that would also mean that there will be 5 parts created to each side of this, and then that's the loadout slot padding. So that means there'll be a 5 stud gap. So it'll be like 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And it'll just be automatically created around the pivot. Next, we go on to level configuration. And now we'll see we've got level 0 and then the experience required to get to the next level. So if you wanted to add more levels, you'll add a comma there, paste it there, take away the comma, and then level 2. Then we'll give this experience. So let's say you might want 50 or 100. So then once you first start at level 0, once you get 25 experience, you'll move on to level 1. Once you get 100 experience, you'll move on to level 2. We don't need these commas as well. Alright, next, map configurations. So these are all your maps. So right now I've just made one, but then to add more, you add a comma. Copy that. Paste, remove the comma, change the name, change the stuff. So firstly, we've got the map ID. Now we'll go back to this soon when we create the actual map. We've got the level required, so level 0, that means anyone can play this. Make sure you have at least one level 0 map. The size, that means the max amount of players is 2. It can start at anywhere from 1 to 2, but it can't exceed 2. Then we've got the badges. These are the badges you get when completing this map. So for easy mode, medium mode, and hard mode, these are just Roblox badge IDs. Then we've got the thumbnail. This shows up on like the servers list, and then the image which will show up on the actual server configuration page. And now we'll keep this open for this and move on to the money configurations. So this is where you can buy money in a Roblox shop. So there's the product ID, the layout order, so just put them in order you want, and then the icon which I've just made, the classic money. Alright, which is that symbol. Alright, next is the skins. So you've got the crates and the skins, and then to add them you do the same as before. Same for the money. And then we've got the cost. This is like the cost in-game lobby money. And then we've got the dev product. Now if you want it to be a product instead of costing in-game lobby money, then you just set this to nil. And yeah, otherwise, even if this is here and that's there, it will automatically be a cost, not a product. Then we've got the icon of the actual crate, and then what skin you can get inside of the crate. So for skins, I've only got one skin right now. And then there is the icon for it. This is like not what it looks like on towers, but just like what the skin looks like. So it's just a nice simple icon. Anyway, that brings us to the towers configuration. Now this is where we configure all our towers. Now I'll talk about this when we're setting up a map. So yeah, don't worry about this for now, but make sure when we do set it up inside a map, you copy that over and paste it back here in the lobby. Same goes for this towers folder, which I'll also show you how you set up inside a map. Alright, so next we're going to go into server storage, configuration, modules, commands, and then this is where you change your prefix. So for example, slash should be like /towers, and then if you might want it to be an exclamation mark, then it'll be like !towers, and then you type this into chat. And then this is just where you add your own user ID to be able to use the commands. Alright, that should be it for configuring the lobby. Now I'll show you how you make a map and configure that. So what we're going to do is go view, asset manager, places, and then we will right click and press add new place. Then you can right click and rename that to whatever your map name is. So I've just got one map which is called map. Then right click on it and press copy ID to clipboard and paste that right here, just like that. Then you can close that. Now you can also rename this to whatever you want, so like lobby, but then keep in mind that this is the starter place. So this is where you spawn in, and this will be the actual name of the game. And then add as many maps as you want, or with their each name, and then put the ID back into that map configuration. Alright, now we can publish this lobby. Cool, now we can open up this map here. Alright, so I've just opened up the map there. So this is actually a place inside the lobby, which is the game. And you can add as many of these maps as you would like. Now what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to insert the model from the toolbox, link in description. Then we'll open up this folder here and take out the map this time, and then delete the rest. Now, starting through these again, we're going to drag and drop them in the correct category, and then right click, ungroup, or control U or command U. Replicated storage, server script service, server storage, starter GUI, starter player scripts. Now make sure you bring this into starter player scripts, not character scripts or anything else. Then delete this. Okay, so to start setting up a game, I would just recommend you move this waypoint back a little bit, just like that. And then I also recommend that you swap this path. You take it out of tower placeable instances into workspace, and then take the base plate and put it into there. Now anything inside this folder, towers will be able to be placed on. So basically what that means is you could place any tower on base plate now as it is inside of that folder, but not on the path or spawn location as they're not inside of the folder. But if you did put them inside of the folder, you would also be able to place the towers on there. So yeah, I just recommend you put only the base plate in there and not the path. Then don't worry about this one, but then worry about waypoints. Now these are your waypoints that you can use for your enemies. So you'll see if I click here and then I'll go show orientation or indicate, you'll see it's facing that way. And if I click here and do the same thing, you'll see it's also facing that way. So that just means when I say 1 to 2 for spawning an enemy in the configurations, we'll talk about that later. It will spawn here facing that way and walk towards that one, and then that would be the end for it. Alright, next we're going to go on to replicated storage, configurations, modules. And we'll start off in tower configurations because we skipped this in the lobby. So basically this is the placeable color, and then this is the unplaceable color. So that's just the color that the preview tower and its range indicator and distance indicators will go, depending on if it's unplaceable or if it's placeable. Then the material, force field, so that's just for the range indicator. These are the configurations, so we've got damage, range, rate, cooldown. Now you can't add any to these. These are set, you can't change them. However, you can like shuffle the order, like something like this. And that's just the order that'll show up on the UI. Same thing here. Here are the icons for each of these. You can't add any more. Then down here, we've got the actual towers. So I've only made one tower right now, but then you can always add more, like I showed with all the other modules, by adding the comma and copying it. So the cost is how much it costs. 0 means it's free, so everyone will automatically get it. Game Pass is how much it is the Game Pass to buy this tower, but this is at 0, not at nil, so it's using the cost, not the Game Pass. We've got the limit, that means you can only place 5 of these towers. The distance, 5, which means it has to be 5 away from another tower, or if the other tower's distance is bigger, then it has to be that distance away. Then we've got its levels, so we've got level 1, level 2, once again you can add more levels. So we've got the cost, 50, that means to first get this tower out of your loadout and place it down, it costs 50. Now this is like map money, not the lobby money, so this is the money you get from damaging and at the start of every wave. Sell, 25, you get it for 25 when you sell it. To buy and upgrade, you can press C. To sell, you can press V when opening the tower configuration UI. I've got damage, that means it does 50 damage. The range, 10 studs, it can go 10 studs in all directions. The rate, 1, cooldown 0. Now basically what this means is it will shoot every 1 second, well, attack every 1 second. But if you made it something like 0.51, that would mean it will attack 2 times every 1 second, then wait for 2, as this can fit inside of this twice. So that means it will attack, and that'll be in 1 second, then it will wait for 1 second. So that'll be like doing this. This would attack for 1 second, and then wait for 1 second. And then this is just attacking every time the rate. Now the tick, this is how long a tick will last. So this can give you a special tower. So if you did 10, the tick will last for 10 seconds. And then if you did something like 1, it would attack the enemy every 1 second inside of those 10 seconds. Now I recommend you only use these as a special tower, not with all towers. And also remember, you're still going to need this range and the damage, as the damage is what the tick does, and then the range is how it can first apply the tick to a tower. Now pierce, this is basically how many towers it can attack at once. So if you set this to something like 2, then it will damage 2 towers nearby it when it attacks, but then only one, which will be the one furthest down the track, well, its path. Splash damage, this just means it will attack all, so it can be true or false. Damage buffer, this is how much damage all the towers nearby and itself would do increased. So 0.1 is like 10%, so increase this damage by 10%, which will make it like 55. I recommend when using this, you don't give it a damage, you just make it a support tower, but it's completely up to you. Same thing for range. Then we've got tax, this is how much it will give you at the start of a wave. So once again, another support tower. So if you made this like 100, it will give you 100 money at the start of each wave. Detection, this goes with the enemies. So when an enemy's detection's true and the tower's detection is false, it cannot detect it and it won't damage it. However, if they're both true or both false, it will. We'll get back to enemies configurations later. Idle animation, whatever animation it's playing, as it's idle, attack when it's attacking, and then the attack sound. Same for level 2. Once again, you can add more by adding comma and copying this whole thing. Then we've got the skins. So right now the tower is using default and skin. So they always have to have default, but then whatever skin they use is optional. So this is skin, as that is what we called the skin in the lobby and in there, which we'll get to later. So we've got the name for tower. This is just its normal tower name. We've got the icon. This is like the icon inside your loadout. Same for this one. Thumbnail. This is the thumbnail in the configuration menu. Same for this one. Same for this one. Same for that one. And then these are just the levels. Now inside of towers, you'll see we've got tower, skins, default, skin, level 1, 2, levels 1, 2. It looks quite a lot, but it's actually pretty simple. So tower, this is just the name of the tower. So you can call this whatever you want, like attack tower. And then these will be the name. These are also the name of the tower. These are for each of the levels. So level 1, level 2, level 1, level 2. And then these are for each of the skins. So we've got default and skin. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Just keep these, keep that, and then any other that, the same name. And then to add more towers, you just duplicate this. So right click and duplicate, or control D, just like that. And then obviously rename them all and set them up how you would like. Alright, next we'll work backwards and go into skins configurations. Now this is exactly the same as lobby, no difference. But so yeah, just make sure you keep this one the same as the lobby one, same as this one, same as the towers folder. And then game configuration, we've got the lobby place ID. So we go view, asset manager, places, then we go to the lobby. We can right click on it and press copy ID to clipboard and then paste that in. Loadout slot, keep it the same as lobby. The map name, map. Intermission, 10 seconds. That means people have 10 seconds to vote, or just 10 seconds of waiting time if the difficulty has been set and there's no need to vote. Intermission timeout, this just means once all players have joined the map, it waits an extra 5 seconds just to make sure no one else is loading in. Don't decrease this below 5 seconds, but you can increase it if you're laggy. Spawn rate 1, that means a enemy spawns every 1 second from the wave configurations. We'll get to the wave configurations later. Wave delay, that means there's a 2-second delay between waves. Skip wave delay, that means there will be 2 seconds before the skip wave prompt comes up on each wave. Auto skip wave, that means the skip wave prompt will still come up for 1 second even if you have auto skip turned on, so you have a chance to turn it off. Damage money 1, that just means for every 1 damage done to an enemy you get 1 money. So if you want it like 0.5, it's a fraction. That means for every 1 damage you do to an enemy you get 0.5 money. So yeah, I recommend keep it at 1. Base health, this is the amount of health your base has. If an enemy comes with like 100 health, then you will be defeated. Towers limit 5, so that just means how many total towers can be placed. It's separate to each individual tower. However, if this is less than an individual tower, then you won't be able to place all those individual towers. Revive limit, this is how many revives you can do inside of a match. So if you want no revives, 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever, or infinity, which is math.hug. Background music, the Roblox asset ID for background, wave clear, victory, and defeat. Next, moving up, we'll go into enemies configurations. So its speed, 8, its health, 100, its resistance. If this is like 0.1, then the amount of damage it would take would be like 0.9. So if you did like 100 damage to it, instead of taking 100 damage, it will only take 90, as that is 0.9 or 90% of it. So yeah, keep that in mind. Obviously, if this was 1, then it would take no damage at all. Detection, we talked about that before with the towers. Walk animation, it's walk animation. Death animation, it's death animation. And then spawn and death sound. And then in asset IDs, we've got the revive developer product ID. Next, in server storage, Configurations, modules, we've got the commands, same as lobby, keep them the same as lobby. And then wave configurations. We'll just get to this soon because I just want to quickly show you enemies. So here's the enemy name, and then you've just got the model for the enemy. Pretty simple for enemies. Anyway, back to wave configurations. We've got easy, medium, hard. You cannot add any more difficulties. These difficulties are set. You've got the money you get from completing it. You've got the experience you get from completing it, and you got the badge you get from completing it. Keep this the same as lobby, and then for each of the difficulties. Then for each difficulty, you've got the waves. I only added one wave, but once again, you can add more by copying it over with a comma. You've got the money you get at the start of that wave, so you can buy some towers that are in your loadout. You've got the amount you would like to spawn, so 2. The name of the enemy, and then its sequence, so waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, so you can customize this and have them spawn wherever and go wherever. And then you can also make these 1, 2, then you can add more of these by copying this over. Same as everything, adding a comma, paste. And then you might want to spawn some other enemy and a different amount. So yeah, same for this one and this one. You see I've just increased the amount, but obviously you can have fully different routes for each wave difficulty. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to setting up your game. Just make sure you publish these maps as well. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and give it a test, but just be aware that if you test it in studio, you can only test inside this map. So we can only test this map because we're on the map, but we wouldn't be able to press return to lobby because you can't teleport in studio. Same thing, if we're in lobby, we could only test the lobby, but we couldn't start a match and teleport to a map because we're in studio. So because of that, I'm going to go start a normal Roblox instant. Alright, so I've just joined the game with my ult. Now this is an actual Roblox experience, so we can test it. So to start off, you see we've got our 5 slots there and 5 slots magically created. We've got the leaderboards and the servers. Now before I forget, the first thing I want to show you guys is commands. So there is a few. The first one is /configuration, then the player's username, say aGoldenMilk. Actually, I'll do my ult, money, then whatever you want it to be. Then you can also do the same thing with levels, but don't go past the max levels or it'll just bug out. So the max level is 1. Don't go past it or it'll just bug out. Then we can do something like victories and then whatever again. So yeah, you've got commands there. There's also these commands. So false for it to for them not to own it, and true for them to own it. But this does kick the player, so only use it on like hackers, and then it also works with skins. So yeah. Then there's also one more command, but that only works inside of each maps, so I'll show you that later. Anyway, starting off with the leaderboards, you see we've got the leaderboards, pretty simple. We've got the podium slots. Now to get a tower, you go in menu. This is where you can buy a tower with lobby money or through a game pass. We've got the levels of the towers, and then the configurations, that's the icons and their order. So we can equip it like that, cancel by clicking off. Then you'll see if we equipped it to one of these slots here, it shows up there. Say if we unequipped it, and yeah, so that's just a visual representation. We've got this is for skins, I'll show you that soon. We'll go to simple, we'll skip across to Roblox, and you'll see you can just buy lobby money. Then we've got badges, so we've got hard, medium, easy. You'll see I've already got the hard mode badge with it saying own there, and it just says what you need to do to get it. Then that's the badge image. Inventory, skin, owned or not, so that was the skin icon I was talking about. Shop, we've got the crate, didn't put any icon in there, but that would be the crate icon. Then here you press on that little thing and it says what you can get, and it says I've already owned it, and that's why I can't buy this crate anymore, because I've already owned everything inside of it, which is just that one skin. Then here you can use it here, and you can see what it looks like that. And then if you click on it and equipped it, then cancel, you'll see it is now equipped. Now it doesn't show up here because you need to know like what these towers are, but it will in game as an actual tower. Then in servers, we can create a server. We can also press create server here. Then you'll see we've got the create server. So we've got the amount of levels required for this map, the amount of players. So if I quickly join on my alt, actually I'll cancel that and I'll make my alt make a server, and then you'll see it shows up there. But if I create one, it only shows mine. Now I can join it, and then I'm in there too, and yeah, can leave it. Anyway, I'll quickly cancel that and create one again myself. Then I'll have my alt join. You see I can kick him out with this close exit kick button now. I'll quickly join back again. I can change the difficulty, the set difficulty here, or leave it as a vote. Then I got my tower here, so I can change out my towers with the towers I own. And yeah, can change the maps here as the owner, but then anyone else can view what towers people have here as well. So I'll just quickly equip the tower on my alt and you'll see. Yep. And then we can set this to something like medium and press start. Now it says teleporting and I can't do anything else. Alright, so we've loaded the map and the 5 seconds have passed. So you see it's been set to medium and we've got the 10 seconds intermission. Now they should be spawning from here. So get my tower, place. Hopefully, there we go. Wave 1 cleared. Now you'll see we got our money there. We've got the configurations there. We just got the medium badge, 50 XP, 50 coins. We've got our 2 towers I placed, 2 out of 5 there. Then we can press upgrade there, or you can press C to upgrade, and then it says maximum, and V to sell, or click there to sell. If you got this to spectate it, just like that. Now if I place a tower on my alt, just like that, I can click on it and you'll see it say aGoldenMilk alt, because that's my alt's username there as well, so I can't interact with it. However, I can still spectate it and see how many of them he's placed. Victory, we've got 50 lobby money from that, 50 XP. It lasted for 7 seconds, wave 1 out of 1, and we had 50 base health left. So we're going to go ahead and replay to show what a defeat looks like, and also show the enemies a little bit. So we'll wait those 5 seconds. We'll just vote hard. And now I'll just let us die and also show the enemies, so you see it shows their path in a red thing like that. And then we died. Now we can revive if we want to, and we would win, or we could return to lobby. Now revive doesn't make you instantly win, it just brings you to the next stage, and since this is the last stage, you would win. So we'll click return to lobby here. You also see we got no XP and no coins. Alright, just load it back into lobby, and now you see it says 25 out of infinity, as this was our last level, which is level 1, and it required 25 XP, and I got 50 XP for beating medium mode. So yeah, there's 25 carry over. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, thank you so much if you made it here to the end of the video. Please subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't already, share the video with all your friends, join my Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video.